To see a change, you gotta be the change. Shine your light, stand up for the right, and let's unite as we all come together as a spiritual family. Let's unite as we all come together on this caravan of unity.
Yes, indeed, the Caravan of Unity. May peace prevail on earth. Peter Melton here with Ben Bowler. Hello, my friend and peace pole advocate. How goes it?
It's wonderful to be here. We're going to take a trip down recent memory lane on the Caravan of Unity across America.
Yeah, boy, the peace poles played such an important part, and they were just foundation everywhere we went. And there's your peace pole up. Here's one of the beautiful little desktop ones, and it's beautiful to be part of the program here.
You bet. You bet. Very, very exciting. Congratulations to everyone at May Peace Prevail on Earth International.
Yes, and the Caravan of Unity teamed up so neatly, and let's go through the pictures of what happened.
You want to go to full screen? Hit full screen on that on your thing there.
September. Okay, there we go. How about that?
Yeah, your beauty.
That's where
Grace
we started,
Cathedral.
right there at Grace Cathedral, the kickoff of the Caravan of Unity. And there's Fumi with the indigenous flag, and Mike Molda, May peace prevail on earth. And we kicked it off there at the park across the street and set up the peace pole there and got ready and just prepared ourselves for this beautiful day. And there's all the flags lined up. And there's our friend.
It was such an amazing and powerful, beautiful opening in the park there with Fumi and Jotima. It was really sacred and powerful, and the flags and of course the peace pole really anchored the whole thing, as they did the whole way across America with the Caravan of Unity. Carried them all across the continent, Peter.
They sure did. And there's the setup completed there as we finished up in San Francisco. Went inside for this amazing concert performance. Gary Malkin and the team. In fact, Fumi gave Gary a beautiful peace pole. He was so honored as they connected. There it is. Tell us, Ben.
Caravan of Unity was a pilgrimage to Peace Weekend 2020. And yeah, it started there in San Francisco and then down to LA and just across the United States. So obviously we had to adapt because of the changes in 2020, but you, Peter, and the Mulder brothers and everyone involved just did an incredible job. Hubcast Media were extraordinary. Everybody involved. It was a real miracle of convergence and teamwork to pull this off. And as you said, the peace poles played a starring role the whole way across.
Yeah, that and the rent a truck and trailer took us across the country. That's when we hooked up with Mike and Chris, and the peace poles loaded in the back of the truck. And boom, before we know it, we made it to Pato and Antoinette's house. There we are in their studio with Chris and Mike Molda. And there's the peace poles arriving.
Beautiful.
And the next event was, of course, the moment of choice.
Yes, the launch of the book. There is Agape Church with Reverend Michael Beckwith. That was amazing. And the Evolutionary Leaders book, Our Moment of Choice. Incredible essays, important, timely, visionary work.
Yeah, and the peace pole was in the background there for Pato and Antoinette, and then is getting planted in their backyard there. And then Pato hooked us up with the next step in the adventure on to Henderson, Nevada, and their friend Gard Jameson. We got to Gard's house, and there was a peace pole already waiting for us. So we knew we were in the right place.
That's right. That's right. This is at the synagogue there in Nevada, at Ner Tamid Synagogue, hosting the Caravan of Unity. An amazing event, actually, with a Muslim leader, a Jewish leader, of course, Christian leaders, and Pato, the music. Beautiful interfaith event put on by Gard and the team there of the Nevada interfaith community.
Yeah, and quickly on to Carbondale, Colorado. And there's Rita and Connie and myself at the blessing and the giving of the peace pole. And it was always such just a foundational boom moment at each of these events as the peace pole landed and held space for everybody.
And peace prevail on us.
Yeah, that line, which is of course the main line in all different languages on the peace poles, living there, and again just spearheading the visual of all of the different stages that we had.
Rita Marsh.
Yeah, and we move on, and this is Anita Sanchez's husband carrying in the peace pole, and Anita.
Well, that's a great photo. That's a great
Yeah.
photo. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, the view
Beautiful
from their
photo.
home was just epic, as you see there with Karuna bringing the musical treats. And again, just the Peace Pole making that claim so boldly. And we move on from
Mm,
there into Nebraska, and Fumi sent Julie her Peace Pole and flag ahead of time. So they were ready to go to
really
the
cool.
river.
Mm,
Yeah, and off to the blessing at the river there. It was quite a
powerful.
sacred
Very
ceremony.
powerful.
Again, the
Yeah,
Peace
beautiful. And then
Pole was
obviously
there.
finishing up in the Opera House there in Minden. That was amazing. You're there in the Minden Opera House with the Peace Pole. Beautiful performance. Shelley Darling. Everybody put on such a great show. Good of the Whole and Dr. Julie Krull and everything that happened there. Look at that stage there with the flags of one family flying there. And then on to St. Louis and Ferguson and Marty and Pookie and Karen, and look at them go with amazing events there. Marty got an award from the local chief of police. You can see that happening there. The Black Sunday art behind it, and the Peace Pole again taking prominence. Look at that in Ferguson.
Yeah, and now they've planted the Peace Pole just in the grass over by the sidewalk by where that black truck is where the
Okay.
Peace Pole got formally planted in Ferguson. That was a powerful event for everyone.
I look forward to going there one day and seeing it. There's so much goodness just happened and sprouted along the way because of the communities rising to meet the Caravan of Unity. Really beautiful.
There's the mayor. There's the mayor joining us in the photo and the painting from the Black Sunday as we moved into Chicago. And here we are presenting the Peace Pole in Chicago at the Baha'i Temple.
Yes, with Nina and Nina Patrick and Joseph and everybody there. The super convergence in Chicago, so much happened over that 1 or 2 days in Chicago. It was amazing. We're going to have to move through this, Peter. This was such a powerful.
So then we got to iGrow there in Chicago, and they already had a Peace Pole out front as well. So we knew we were welcome. And there it is Joseph and Nina give an award for Marty and Linda. And we moved on to Philadelphia. And right on time. It was just every time we set up a new thing, it was the Peace Pole was grounding it again, like you see there in the background as all the details are getting set up. And then this just epic in Joni's backyard.
Yeah, Joni Carly with Chief Dwayne Perry, and that was amazing. The prayers for America. You can get a sense of the vibes from this photo with the fire and the pole in the evening and the birds singing in the background, and prayers from America pouring in from literally around the world. Isn't it interesting in Philadelphia, which ended up being playing such a pivotal role just a month or so later in the U.S. election. But very, 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 very powerful moment.
And that picture there was just an epic shot. And we move on from there. We get to go to Stony Point, and there's the beautiful Stony Point, New York embassy.
Yes, the First Nations embassy of Chief Dwayne Perry. And what an incredible historic moment, Peter, that was. You were to be there at all of these moments to open up the First Nations embassy at Stony Point.
And inside there, here we are inside there with the La Bafana gang and Jack from the Caravan and Chief
Jack, La Bafana. That's a good one.
So then we were on to New York for the International Day of Peace, and there's the Mulder brothers from Creative Minds right there in front of the flags. And of course, our friends.
New York, baby. There it is. That's it. Monica and David there at the UN Chapel where the whole Road to 2020 started. Such a beautiful, powerful kind of closing moment. Of course, it wasn't the end of the caravan, but it was closing a cycle.
Yep. Then Dear Becky in Raleigh, North Carolina had a beautiful event, and they were also greeted by another Peace Pole and brought some animals into the story. And those were the only animals we had on in the ceremonies there. It was quite beautiful. And then we go to DC, and here's Fumi and Bob unloading the van in DC. And then all the stuff we brought out had to be sniffed by the security dog. So had to get, so I guess we did get one other animal in the story.
There you go.
Here we are, we set up in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and it's like, once the Peace Pole's down, we think we know what's going on, but there was like 80% chance it was supposed to rain on us that day as we were preparing, as you see there. But sure enough, we were able to get all the US flags, and again, there's the Peace Pole.
There it is. Beautiful. Right at the front of the Lincoln Memorial with all the flags of the world and the indigenous flag flying high, and may peace prevail on earth, presented every single step of the way. There's Marty K. Casey delivering her thunderous presentation on the just in front of the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yep, and Adam there sending it away with this beautiful song he sang, and just held space so wonderfully at that whole event, as the flags for first the 50 United States and then all the flags of all the countries presented. The weather held for us all day, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful event all the way around.
Absolutely. That little piece of music was very, very haunting. And I'm trying to remember the instrument that Adam plays, but it's escaping me
It
right
starts
now.
with a C, Cucho,
Yeah.
something like that.
But it was great. It was great. Every step of the way, music and prayers and ceremony and a prayer for peace right across the United States in September 2020. Anchored by you, Peter, and the Mulder brothers.
That was beautiful to get to go through that again with you, Ben, and with all of you watching, to get a little flavor of the Caravan of Unity, and may peace prevail here.
Yeah, and congratulations, Fumi, and everybody involved in Japan and all around the world. We're so grateful for the legacy of the peace poles and what they represent. May peace prevail on earth.
May peace prevail on earth.